Welcome, sadhkas. Today we will be blissfully imbibing the bliss lively within word formulations of Vedic mathematics. We are having a pickup of a pair of word formulations. These are Kritgya and Kritghan. The simple rendering for the formulation Kritgya is grateful and for Kritghan is ungrateful. This pair of formulations are in a way the end read message of Vedic systems, chase of the existence phenomenon. Vedic mathematics bliss is lively within the word formulations, or word formulations may be taken as reservoirs of bliss. Today, we are taking up a pair of word formulations, Kritgya and Kritghan. The simple rendering for these formulations is grateful and ungrateful. However, these formulations sequentially unfold and bring us face to face with the ultimate truth of our existence phenomenon. The formulation Kritgya is of transcendental code value 21, while the formulation Kritghan is of transcendental code value 23. The transcendental code value 21 is also parallel with the transcendental code values of Mrityu, death, as well as of Shivale, and the transcendental code value 23 is parallel with the transcendental code value of the formulation Shahestra 1000 and also of Anant, infinitely infinite. How we have to be grateful to the Creator for creation of the death, and how we have not to be ungrateful for not being grateful about the creations of the Creator. It is for this lively phenomenon, lively bliss reservoirs as this pair of formulations are, we are to unfold them. We have to be parallel with it. The formulation Kritgya is a composition of 3 syllables, Kri, Ta, and Gya, and these are of transcendental code values 5, 5, 11, making summation value 21. The formulation Kritghan as well is a composition of triple syllables, and the summation value is 23. As such, while having a chase of this reservoir, we have to be conscious about the transcendental code value 21 of the formulation Kritgya and transcendental code value 23 of the formulation Kritghan. It is in this background that when we take up the formulation Ghan, whose simple rendering is a cube or a body or a solid, and reverse orientation for this formulation is Anag. The formulation Ghan is of transcendental code value 14, which is parallel with the transcendental code value of Agni, fire, and the formulation Anang is of transcendental code value 15, which is parallel with the transcendental code value 15 of formulation Tej. It is this reversal, orientation, transition, and transformation for fire as glow is to be imbibed well. As the Panchamahabhut, Prithvi, Apa, Agni, Vayu, and Akash make value 68, and in the reverse orientation, the Dhruv, Surya, Akash, Vayu, and Agni make the value 67. However, it is the transition in the reversal of orientation which adds value 1 as a change, transformation for Agni into Tej, and so in both orientations, the ultimate transcendental code value for Bhut and Mahabhut comes to be equal, and it is 68. It is this feature which deserves to be comprehended well while we shall be appreciating the Creator's creation of the bodies. The step ahead, we have to make ourselves conscious as that the center of the cube, Ghan, is Creator's seat. It is Shila. Its origin is a fourth space. It is the Creator's seat. And within the Creator's seat, the origin of the origin is the transcendental origin, and it is Lord Shiva's seat. We have to be conscious as that the Creator created manifested forms for the creations, but there happens a transcendence permissibility, inward transcendence from domain to the origin and from origin to origin of a origin. And this sequence continues. And continuity of this sequence would mean that initially from a cube 3-space body, we reach at 4 space as origin. From 4 space origin, we reach at 5 space as origin of origin. And in continuity at the next step, we reach at 6 space as origin of a 5 space. And ahead, there will be a reach beyond. But for it, there happens, because of the spatial order of the Creator's space, 4 space, a split for the transcendental domain as pair of hemispheres. Transcendental cube, hypercube 5, the origin seat of Creator's space is of 4 folds, 3, 4, 5, 6 of summation value 18. And the split of the transcendental domain as northern and southern hemispheres of values pair 17 and 19, with the central placement seat 8 for 6 spaces and origin, is the transcendental phenomenon of the creations, which deserves to be comprehended well, as it is only in terms of it we will be, while at the next transcendence, then it will be that 6 spaces and origin within Creator's space of a spatial order will give rise to the flow from the orb of the sun within both hemispheres of 7 streams each, making it a phenomenon of total value 20, which is the transcendental code value of Ved. It is this phase and stage which at the next transcendence takes us to 7th space with 8th space as an origin, and the phenomenon of fold flow from the origin of 7th space pole star as value 22 parallel with hypercube 6 is the reach which follows sequentially within the manifested bodies. See how sequentially the reach is going to be at the 8th space as a chunk of TC value 11 for the formulation Asht and 17 for the formulation Now, and numbers range 1 to 17, yielding factors 1 to 17. How the existence phenomenon is compactified manifestation having sequential unfolding. It is this sequential unfolding process which deserves to be comprehended well, to have a full appreciation of as to how along the internal diagonal plane of the cube at its center is the unifying point of spatial dimension with the creative four-space domain. It is this way that our quadruple Ushmana letters are having their ultimate reach. It is this way that we can be face to face with the word formulations as bliss reservoirs. Let us have a pause. Let us have a fresh visit to the formulation Anand, which is of transcendental code value 23, parallel with the formulation Kritgyan. Ungratefulness is of such infinite range, inherently embedded in the existence phenomenon, that each one of us is to remain ever conscious that one is never slipping along the ungratefulness path, which is of infinitely infinite diversions, and one, unless and until is conscious and fortunate enough, unless and until one is grateful to the Creator, one will never have reversal of such depressing phenomenon. The formulation Anand as Varna is having 6 letters, as Ankh is having transcendental code value 23, as Bahir, external characteristics, is of value 46, as internal characteristics, middle characteristics is of value 24, as Antrik, internal characteristics is value 90, as Saloke it is 22, as Samipe it is 22, as Sarupe it is 22, and Sayuja is 48, and ultimately Swambhu it is 84. One shall sit comfortably and be sequentially parallel with this unfolding feature of the formulation Anand, which at the 10th phase and stage of Swambhu is of value 387, which is 132 less than 515. That is the total letters of the entire text of Ganita Sutras and Upsutras. And this 132 as a base is accepting organization 11 into 12, and 11 plus 12, 23 will help us appreciate as to how the Anant formulation with the TC value 23 as 11 plus 12, when will transit and transform as 11 into 12, it will go to the base of the Anant. Therefore, sadhakas fulfilled with the intensity of urge to be parallel with Vedic systems shall visit and revisit the formulation Anant. The value 23 is the summation value of quadruple folds of hypercube 6 of half unit. Now see, the formulation Anant is unfolding as formulation 1, as syllables 3, as letter 6, as transcendental code value 23, making the total value as 33, 23, 6, 3, and 1. Now, the value as it is at the next step will take us to the transcendence, and it is 63. So the formulation Anand permits and makes complete transcendence as 63, which is parallel with the transcendental code value of transcendental mantra Om Namaha Shivaya. It is here where there is internal caution, and it is that those who somehow have gone along the path of ungratefulness may, if become conscious at the initial phases and stages itself, and when we'll be listening to one's own conscious, then it is Om Namah Shivaya, transcendental code value 63, the value of the transcendence through the vowels of the formulation Anant, which is the savior. Sadhakas sit comfortably and have a fresh visit to the pair of formulations Kritgya and Kritghan. The formulation Kritgya is a composition of triple syllables of TC value 21, while formulation Kritghan as well is a formulation of triple syllables but of transcendental code value 23. See 21 and 23 as pair of values are parallel with the format of dimension and a domain. So Kritgya is the dimension and Kritghan is the domain. Kritgya is the internal fold and Kritghan is the outer fold. Further, 21 plus 23 is 44, which is the value of Paramvijom, the transcendental space. So both Kritgya and Kritghan together make the transcendental space. However, when this space is to be approached as dimension and domain, then one is to remain at dimension. We know that the Sthapatya miring rod and the Mayer of the Sthapatya miring rod are two distinct features, and Lord Brahma, creator the supreme, is the presiding deity of the Mayer. So we have to remain at Mayer and we have not to go at the domain. Further, when the value 44 is of organization 22 and 22, then it will bring us face to face with as to how the space content of dimensional space 13, the same will manifest the pair of domains, pair of bodies, hypercube 6, a full unit. See how this manifestation phenomenon is destined for creations. This transcendental creation will bring us face to face with the setup of the manifested fourfold, quadruple-fold setup of hypercube 6, the representative regular body of a 6 space, which is of domain boundary ratio A raised to power 6 is to 12 B raised to power 5 and of 13 versions. There are 13 geometries of 6 space. There are 13 versions of hypercube 6. And the central, the middle placement, Euro signature, is the placement which will take us to the split of a 6 space as a pair of 6 space bodies. And it is here where 6 space as dimension will take us up till 9 space as an origin. So the organization of 1 to 9 steps for first half and 10 to 18 for the second half will take us to the organization of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where the summation value of the shlokas of chapters 1 to 9 is 372, while the summation value of the shlokas of chapters 10 to 18 is 328. The gap value, the difference value at the middle is 44. It is the transcendental space which is lively at the middle of the organization format of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It is this middle lively phenomenon which is the only savior for all those who remain conscious that they have to remain only as grateful. And it is in this context that we can see that the pair of values 21 and 23 for Kritgya and Kritghan with the middle value 22 makes a grid for double-digit numbers of value 22 place value system. And the first, third triple-digit number of 22 place value is 484. And for double-digit numbers of 6 place value system, there are 35 double-digit numbers of 6 place value system accommodated by the grid 5 cross 7. Let us have a pause. 6 place value system has 35 double-digit numbers. Hypercube 6 of 4 folds, 4, 5, 6, 7 of summation value 22 as 22 place value system yields double-digit numbers 484, and 484 plus 35 is 519, which is equal to the total letters of entire text of 16 Ganita Sutras and 13 Ganita Upsutras. The value 36, the first triple-digit number value of 6 place value system. See the digits 3 and 6, making reflection pair script is parallel with the split of a 3-dimensional frame into a pair of 3-dimensional frames of half dimensions but of opposite orientations. It is this which is to happen for all those who or Kritghan, who are not grateful to the creation. Creator's creation of a three-dimensional frame as a synthetic setup of pair of three-dimensional for half dimensions is not to be broken. Moment it is broken, then the happening of different fates for gratefuls and ungratefuls is destined, inherently embedded in the system. The value 36 and 63 are of opposite orientations. These make reflections pair. And value 36, the transcendental code value of Paranava, while value 63 is the transcendental code value for Om Namah Shivaya. Paranama Sarvadeshu. Vedas are Trigunatmak. So we have to transcend this Trigunatmak creation. It is this lesson which is to be imbibed well, and for it we shall be face to face with as to how transcendence takes place through the 9 vowels. The first 4 vowels together make transcendence value 0, but the 5th and 6th together make it value 15 plus 48 is 63, which is Om Namah Shivaya. So the creator's space as such is a neutral phenomenon, but the sustenance of the creation is destined to be of the conscious human beings who ever remain conscious and who ever remain grateful to the creation and make themselves conscious at every step that one is not along the ungratefulness of the creation. And the savior mantra is Om Namah Shivaya. This way we can have a further insight about the inner organizational, structural, transcendental features of the formulation Kritgya and Kritghan when we will chase and when we will be parallel with the 10 inner folds of the transcendental code value, the 10 folds of the formulation Kritgya as are on the left side of the screen. These make for the first part, first 4 steps, value 32, which is 2 raised to power 5, which is Janardhan. And the next 6 make value 892 with the base 108. So Kritgya is 1, grateful is 1, who when initially feels that he may not along the ungratefuls, he takes the shelter of the transcendental mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, of the transcendental code value 63. However, the faithful accepts that the base is 108, which is the transcendental code value of Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. These 2 transcendental mantras, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, are the end reach of the Vedic mathematics. This is the bliss. And it is this bliss which is to be imbibed, and one is to be grateful to the Creator for creating creations by embedding death, unless and until there has been this feature of death as the ultimate savior. Be grateful to the Creator for creating death. Thank you very much.